Greetings, light fans. It is Saturday morning, at least here in the United States, and I'm out for my walk. And it's a little toastier than I thought. Showered before I walked, and now I'm a little stinky, maybe. So, we've had some fun in the group talking about everybody's order dates, in case you haven't paid any attention. Over on the Facebook group for the L16, we have been talking about a variety of different things, but lately we've been talking about delivery dates and when you pre-ordered, what date you pre-ordered. I pre-ordered on October 9th, 2015. Light announced sales starting either October 6th or October 7th, so I'm pretty early in the list. One of the readers said that he had been told by Light that he ordered on October 8th and that he would be in the first group. I'm on October 9th. I don't think I'm in the first group. I don't know, but I think there were a lot of pre-orders in the first couple of days. But we also know that Light has said that you know, they're gonna stretch things out over the 3 months, so I don't know how early people are really gonna get cameras. How many are going out in the first batch, we don't know. And even if you're in the first batch, they may be trickling that out. I don't know, how many batches are there? Are there 3 batches, one for every month? I don't know. A lot of things we don't know, right? But going back to the conversation about the top reasons for buying the Light or believing that the Light is going to take over the planet, we talked about the depth map, which is easy for me to say. And if you've paid any attention to Apple virtual reality that they announced a couple of weeks ago, the AR kit or augmented reality, the stuff that they're doing with that is phenomenal. And guess what it relies on? And I don't know the exact specs. I haven't made the time to go look. But I suspect that the new iPhone 8 is going to be the killer device for that. And of course it has 2 cameras, right? Bright light behind me. So if anybody shows up, by the way, hi. It's been a couple of days since I did one of these because it's been raining around here. But so the depth map, which was my first conversation about the top 10 things, is really going to be phenomenal in terms of where things go in the future. Now, what I wanted to talk about today was, somebody's here, hi somebody, the Bokeh. Now, of course, when we look at a phone, I'll stop, for example, and if you look in the background, everything's in focus, right? We've gone through that discussion about everything's in focus with these tiny frickin' little sensors and the tiny little lenses that are on these cameras. And hey Michael, thank you, great topic. I have an iPhone 6 Plus, so its camera, and especially the fact that this is the front-facing camera, and let me turn it around. Even the rear-facing camera, and I know maybe you can't hear me as well now. I don't know how that works. The rear-facing camera, I'll turn around and point back the same direction, right? Everything's in focus. And so it's a function of the sensor and the lens, because if you look at a DSLR that has a full frame sensor, of course it has a really narrow depth of field, which we've talked about as well. And that produces the great bokeh in the background. Now, bokeh is a combination of multiple things. It's not just a blur. It depends upon the iris that you have open. And, oh, somebody's built a house there. Or added onto a house. Big shock. No trespassing. Should I go trespass? So the number of blades on the aperture control inside the DSLR can make a difference to the quality of the bokeh. And they have talked at Light in their videos and interviews. I'm going down a hill, so it's a little bumpy, sorry. I'm not good at walking downhill, apparently. So I keep getting distracted. So they have talked about being able to define the quality of the bokeh in software, right? We're doing all of this stuff mainly in software because they're using 10 different images from 10 different sensors and 10 different lenses to make up this image. So why not keep going, right? So with the L16 and the fact that we have computational imaging here, we're combining these images. Guess what? They can do anything they want to with the quality of the bokeh in the background. When you define, or even the foreground, if you define the depth of field as being fairly narrow and the image has a lot of depth, like this hill that I'm walking down, then you can define how blurry that is and what the quality of the blur is. Now, you can also do things, I'm sure you've seen the videos or the photos where somebody has taken a little plastic or a little paper cutout and put it in front of their DSLR lens, like the shape of a star or a dog or whatever, and say there's Christmas lights in the background or some little blinky lights, and the blur of those becomes the shape of the thing that you've put in front of the lens, right? Which is awesome. But guess what? You can now do that in software. You don't need a little cheap little plastic thing. You don't have to put something in front of 10 different lenses on your new L16. You can now define that in software and put any frickin' shape you want. I did one. I had a company that made a custom logo, did one of those for me because I was doing a review, and it was my Planet 5D website name. And so in the background, there's all these little Planet 5D logos, which was amazing. But guess what? You can do that now in software. Okay, not something you're going to do every day, right? Holy cow, I haven't been down this street in a while. There is this used to be a small house on a small lot, and now it's a big house. Well, I shouldn't say small lot, it was a big lot. But now, look at that. That is a big house on a lot. Let's see, Michael says, logical step for Light would be to adopt HEIF, like, yeah, the new format from Apple, as it can incorporate the depth map in the file, plus other benefits. You're right. That's a very good point as well. I hadn't thought about that one. We don't know much about that format yet, though, do we? And I suspect that Apple, now you got me thinking about Apple. Light has talked about the fact that they will be working with Adobe and friends. God, that's a beautiful house. I know they took down a couple of trees to put that in there, but that's a big, beautiful house, although it needs a porch on the front. I like to sit on my front porch and wave to people. They think I'm weird. Anyway, so I don't know necessarily that the format really matters, except for portability with different software. And if Light's already been working with Adobe, hopefully, you know, because Lightroom and Photoshop are the premier editing tools, then hopefully we don't have anything to worry about. But it's a good point, Michael, about that HEIF. I don't know if there's a way to pronounce that. HEIF? Like JPEG is easy to say. This is one of my favorite houses. It's a nice ranch. Has a nice porch on the front right there. You can sit and enjoy the view. This is a quiet neighborhood near my house. There's hardly ever any traffic here, so I like to walk over here. But the point, and as Michael's has it nailed right on, I mean, nobody's really talked about this topic much. But the fact that we can do all kinds of amazing things with the Bokeh in software, and again, if Light allows developers to create software to put in the Android store, then I mean, the world is wide open. This is an amazing egg to be able to, I mean, just look what's happened with the photo apps on Apple and Android devices in the last 10 years. Happy birthday to the iPhone, by the way, which was, what, 2 days ago? 10-year anniversary for the iPhone. My, how the world has changed, hasn't it? I mean, without the iPhone, obviously, we wouldn't be talking about the L16. So, kudos to Apple. I love Apple. I've got Apple stock, which is making me some good money. Holy cow, there's a new house over here, too. I should walk more often over here. This used to be a vacant lot, and they're building a new house on it. Now I'm walking uphill. So anyway, in terms of the conversation, I tend to ramble sometimes. I apologize about that. But the fact that we have these amazing things like the depth of field, the depth map, couldn't come up with the words, and just the adjustable Bokeh, I mean, those 3 things alone, and we haven't even gotten to the other 7 of my top 10. So I know people, believe people think that this is going to be a niche product, but they're just not seeing the forest for the trees, are they? I mean, the more you really stop to think about how this camera is going to change the world, and I know a lot of people said that about the Lightro, right? Oh, the Lightro is going to change the world. But the first time I saw images out of the Lightro, the sensor was tiny. And I didn't care. Here's that new house that they're building. Nice, big. I don't particularly care for the look of this one. It's got a little porch. And they took down a couple of big trees, but they left a couple of big trees too. I like that one. Oh, it's even for sale. It's not a custom. Somebody doesn't own it yet. Anyway, the ability that Light has, I was talking about the Lightro, and the stupid little plug-in that you used to have to put in order for people to do the refocusing. I'll say this again, nobody wanted the Lightro because photographers want to define the image the way they want to define it. They don't particularly want people coming along later and going, "Ooh, let me refocus that." I mean, what's the point? Why? The point of doing a photo is to be artistic and express yourself with the world, right? It's not about, okay, there's documentation, there's all kinds of different things, but as an artist, I want to express myself, and I want it to be my vision, not what anybody else wants. So the moment I saw stuff coming out of the Lightro, I was like, this ain't gonna work. And we still, of course, don't have tons of samples out of Light. Come on, Light. Will you please hurry up and give us some samples? The problem is we just aren't patient. I'm not patient. Sorry, Light. And so anyway, long rambling video. The possibilities of this camera and the future are phenomenal, and I'm so excited about this. And anybody who thinks this is going to be a tiny little niche, a niche product, they're just not seeing the forest for the trees as I walk up a beautiful hill with lots of trees. Anyway, Michael, thanks for tuning in and posting. I knew that nobody was going to tune in because it's a Saturday morning in the United States and everybody's still asleep, or they're busy doing family stuff. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, Michael. Thanks for tuning in, everybody who watches this later and puts up with my long rambles as I walk. I hope you're as excited as I am. It's going to take a while. We need to have some more patience. Get rid of my double chin there. Have a little more patience with light, and things will evolve. And in the next couple of years, it will be phenomenal. All right, tune into light. Tune into the L16. I don't know. I need to come up with a name, don't I? The lightRumors podcast. The lightRumors walk of the day. Oh, too many things to think about. We'll catch you again on another morning walk. Soon. Bye.